comes Zlatan to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Welcome back, and we are on the grid in Abu Dhabi for my first win. An amazing race. But before we get started there, we did start a little earlier with a minute of silence and then sending the Williams out first in honor of Frank Williams, who had passed away a few days prior to the race. We're going to have to do today's recap different because my system didn't record it from my point of view, but I got very lucky and there was a broadcast live, so I recorded that. So what I'm going to do is show it to you using their point of view. I'm going to cut it in and out just to give you some insights, but for the most part, just let you listen to the live commentators as we're on the grid right now. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights out and away we go, and we get a great launch, pulling out to the left-hand side of the McLaren.
Oh, it's a great start from the AlphaTauri. Look at the AlphaTauri on the inside. AlphaTauri takes P1. Oh, the Williams runs right as they're side by side now, coming through the second corner. They're still side by side. Oh, the Williams is backing off a little bit into the McLaren. Williams is going to have to defend from the McLaren, but the McLaren backs out of that one. Oh, and an Alpine is spun and is out of the race.
Lap 2 leading the race already. The plan is real simple. I'm not going to try and outdrive them. I'm going to try and outthink them. So Frosty behind me, I know he's probably going to power up the ERS and use it. I'm going to play the underdog card, make him think he can get by, but I'm not going to let him by till he blows his energy. And I'm going to keep doing that with all the strong drivers behind me.
Yeah, I think so. Looking at the starts, Zlatan with the dream starts, then with Dynamo. But Jamie, the biggest gainer there off the starts. What a start from Jamie, up from P11 to P6. We've got a great battle up at the front though with the front 3. 9/10 is all that separates first and third. This is going to be a good battle here in a minute now, I'd say, between these 3. Jaguar right on the tail of the Williams. He'll be looking to get past him as soon as he can so he can get after Zlatan and the AlphaTauri. Jaguar now with DRS again on this straight. Will he be able to get him here? He's going round the outside. I think he hasn't done. Yes, he does. Jaguar up to P2. Good move there around the outside of the Williams. But is the Williams going to fight back into the corner? No, he isn't. He's not close enough to fight him on that. Mercedes and Jamie having a look at the inside of Dynamite.
Here, but he has to lift off or he's going to run to the back of him. But he's still going to come alongside him now. Down to the brake zone. He might be able to get it done before the brake zone. He's going to get it done before the brake zone. Will the AlphaTauri try to fight back? No. That's Jaguar takes the lead.
Jaguar into the lead, so with that, will he see him pull away or will we see... Oh, he's gone straight on and is that him out? What's happened there? Just went straight on.
I knew I had the pace and I knew he'd been battling with Frosty, so energy was going to be low. I wanted to let him by intentionally just to get a toe behind him for a little bit, save some power, and go after him after that. But I'm not really sure why he ends up going straight to the wall, though.
Safety car.
Safety car, safety car. This is what Jaguar would have wanted now after that incident he's just had.
See people box. Zlatan's coming into the pits. Frosty's coming into the pits.
Everybody's into the pits. So let's see,
whose pit mechanics can do the best.
Mediums for Frosty.
Here's your money on winning, as we are now 1/3 through this race.
My money I'm winning? I would say Zlatan, because he's looked very strong and confident out at the front so far. He's been, before the safety car, he was pulling the gap to Frosty. I think it was up to about 2.5 seconds there before the safety car came out. So I'd say he'll be focusing on getting a good start off the safety car and keeping Frosty behind. And then,
you heard them mention the gap, so I know the pace is strong. So the goal now is going to be to bait Frosty into using all his ERS so that I can save up mine. He bleeds his out. He's slow, and I can just run away.
Very eager to get racing. So we go around the final corner, and Zlatan goes straight away and gets the jump on Frosty.
Frosty burning his ERS in more vain here. He's not gaining anywhere by burning it. He's way too far back to even be thinking about a move. He's now on nearly half the ERS compared to Zlatan. It's not like he's under threat from Jamie either, who's nearly a second behind him. Jaguar will be wanting Zlatan to hold him back as much as possible, because he does seem a faster driver at the minute, Frosty, so the quicker he gets past him, the worse he'll be for Jaguar.
Frosty right on the gearbox now of Zlatan. Will we see him get a move down into the left-hander here at the end of the back straight?
But let me look at the
DRS
RS.
open, he's draining that DRS, draining it.
He's out while
He goes to look
Zlatan's
around the
still
outside,
30%.
but Zlatan goes to move to cover that off.
Oh, the Red Bull makes a
Zlatan
lunge
remains ahead.
there from really... Frosty not much closer, but he's still a tenth closer than he was last lap. Not anymore though. Now we're in half a second coming down this DRS straight. Frosty's looking aggressive. He goes for a move into the chicane. He tries to go around the outside. Will he try and feed it through? Unsuccessful there. And now he'll be down the second DRS straight. He surely has him.
He's right on him. He should
gearbox.
have him here. Surely he'll have him down here. But Zlatan gets a good exit though.
Zlatan isn't even trying to burn his ERS though. Jamie's...
He goes around the
Frosty's burnt
outside.
all of it.
It's going to be wheel to wheel here in the chicane. He's got to leave the space for the AlphaTauri. But he gets the move done. Frosty is now into the lead of the Grand Prix. Great move there from Frosty. He'll be trying to see if he can pull away now, or will the DRS, or will Zlatan just be quick enough to keep up with him? We'll have to wait and see.
Zlatan's still in DRS range though as they come through to the chicane. And he has a lot more ERS. He has nearly 30% more.
Zlatan will be close down here into the corner down here.
I won't be burning the ERS down this straight. I'd save all of it for the next one because that's where most of the overtaking that will
Frosty's
stick will
red light
happen.
flashing. Frosty's out of ERS.
Any move down
Burning
here,
all of his ERS.
any move down here will probably not stick into the next one as you will not have DRS and the person behind you will. So as I said, he's burning all his ERS down this straight instead, and he looks like he's going to go for a move. Frosty tries to defend, he moves through the side of the track, he goes to the inside.
Go for a lunge.
Michael is out at the first corner.
Oh, there's contact between
Safety
them, and there's
car.
contact again, and Frosty spot. Oh, Frosty. Good save
You'll
from
have to
Frosty,
keep that.
just about saved that. So we're in for a second safety car. Right, so 15 laps to go. About 14 or 15 laps to go once the safety car comes in. What are your predictions so far? What are your predictions from here for the end of the race?
I still would put, at the minute, I'm going to stick to my guns and say Jaguar's still going to be able to find his way through the pack and win the race as long as nothing unfortunate happens to him like another spin.
I think I'd have to put money on Zlatan because he looks very fast out in front, and Jaguar does seem to be struggling a bit in the midfield.
I'd say
trying to get past people.
I'd say Frosty were a quicker driver than him at the time. It didn't help that the incident he had just before the safety car put him back a couple of places, but I'd say Frosty is probably the quicker driver in the top three.
Frosty could have also been quicker there. He was draining a lot of ERS. That could have contributed to the fact he was being a faster driver there. So you never know.
If you want to see what I mean by playing mind games, watch the timing table on the top left. If you see a 1 second gap or less, it means they can use DRS. They're going to want that spot, so I know if I teeter around the 1 second mark, they're going to bleed it trying to stay there. And then also, as they fight people behind them, it's going to slow them down, and it gives me a safer run away.
He's going to do the same thing he did last time. I'd say the second the safety car peels off, he's going to... Yep, he does. Second the safety car peels off, he's gone. Oh, it's a much better start than the Red Bull behind him, though.
All depends on his exit through this corner. I don't want to take too much curb and bounce across it, but also...
Oh, it's a good exit.
Probably not good enough, especially
He's
if
got the ERS.
Jake's not burning his ERS though. Now he's just started.
He might go for a lunge. Nah, he's gonna back out of this. It'd be stupid to go for a lunge there. Oh, while this battle is happening though, Zlatan is making a big gap for himself out in front already. Oh, it's just creeped back under a second. He had it just over a second there for a second. Yeah, he has it back. He's pulling out over a second now to Jake. So he's pulling away. Jaguar now up to P4. He's only 7/10 behind Mr. Frosty in P3.
He's now right up behind these lot. Now Dynamo
Jaguar
coming
now
through.
up to P3.
Dynamo's gonna go for one. Will he go for two? Oh, he's getting.
He
he
has
has
to
to
back out of that.
being boxed in.
He couldn't move out from behind the... Oh, Jaguar running a bit wide.
And he's round.
Jaguar is spun. He's spun.
But Dynamo's gonna go for a
Is
move
Dynamo
here
gonna
into
go
turn one. It
No,
looks
he's
like.
not. Backing out of it.
And while all this is happening, Jake and Zlatan pulling away.
Running away.
Jake is now inside the RS range of Zlatan.
Just about. Oh, he's fluctuating around that.
Dynamo.
So with fastest lap. He's gonna start tracking down that top two. He's not going to have this pace for very long though, because those softs will start to drop off in the next... Oh, and he's round! Dynamo's round! Dynamo's round, and that's him gone out of contention for a podium for now. Oh, that's so unfortunate there for Dynamo. Just turned in too much, took too much curb there in the inside. Lost the rear end and overcorrected it.
Jake only just managed to get his DRS. He's out of it, the range at the minute now, but he still has it. Just managed to keeping it.
JP with DRS now, and Mr. Frosty, will he be able to make a move down into here? He's gaining. He's gonna go for a lunge. Brakes late. Locks up, I think, a little bit. And he's ahead. JP
So,
in the
Frosty's exit is here.
ahead of Mr. Frosty. See Jake now on the Alpha Tauri. He's within 7 tenths now of the Alpha Tauri. Does look like he's gaining a little bit. Got yellow flags, and that is Jamie who's around. Jamie in the Mercedes, I think.
Yeah, and he's round again.
Yeah, he's around. He's around again. Doesn't look like the hard tires are working for him very well. Eight tenths now in between the Red Bull of Jamie, and Jamie is out. Jamie is out of the Grand Prix.
Safety car.
He's crashed.
Lap 19 and going perfect so far. Haven't made a single mistake, and it's going exactly as I want it to. So moving out here now, at this point, I'm extremely calm. I just have to keep doing what I'm doing. Make them use their ERS. Once I know it's low, put a gap on them, and then make them fight the guys behind them so they fall back more, and I kind of just get a safe drive out front.
Yeah,
he's on fresh softs. He was one of the ones that did box. But he does gain a place on Dynamo.
So we've got fresh softs on majority of the drivers now until the end of the race. Oh, Zlatan just went straight into the back of the safety car on my screen.
I did hit it. My wheel had died, which made the AI take over in the air. I drove it right into the back of the car, but I got lucky and had no damage.
8 lap sprint, so to the end. I think I'm gonna keep my money on Zlatan for the win. I think he's been doing everything he's needed to do so far, keeping up front, keeping just out of the DRS of Jake, keeping it consistent, keeping it clean, keeping penalty free. So I think my money for this win is on Zlatan. Else was on mediums, but now the front runners on. Oh,
wasn't the best start in the world for Jake.
Aston Martin right on the tail of Jake. Oh, we could see a move here from the Aston Martin into the chicane here before the hairpin.
It's hard to follow up here because of the dirty air.
Got to move. Zlatan will just be focusing to try get outside that 1 second of Jake before DRS kicks in. Oh, and we got GP going around the outside of Jake. Will he go for a lunge? Jake covers it off. Zlatan has done the same thing on the start every single time. The second the safety car peels away here, he's boots it. Is he going to do the same thing here?
I think GP is.
No, he's holding it off a little bit.
GP has did quite
and
well.
He's gone. GP's done quite well there.
GP a lot better than anyone else's.
4 or 5 people all battling for P2, P3, and maybe P1, but Zlatan does look like he's pulling away yet again. Zlatan with another faultless effort. Is it coming around the penultimate corner now? Is Zlatan coming around the final corner? Oh, and Frosty with a 33-second, but here comes Zlatan to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Who's your driver of the day?
Probably put it to Zlatan. Dominant drive from start to finish. Looked only under threat at a few points at the start, in the middle of the race, before the safety car came out from Frosty, and then just managed to keep calm, keep composed, and win.
Yeah, I'd be close to agreeing with you there. Very, very, very dominant drive from Zlatan on P4 in the grid. He started, fought his way up to P1. He had a brilliant start, I remember, into turn 1. Got everyone into turn 1, was P1, and that was it from there. Zlatan he's just gone. Ran away with this. Very, very dominant drive from Zlatan. I'm going to have to give him my driver of the day as well.
such a fun race to drive. I had spent about 20 hours building that car setup for this race, and it worked out perfectly. It was on rails, and it meant I didn't have to focus on the driving. I could focus more on the tactics. This isn't updated yet, but it will push us up 2 spots. We should come in under Locker there at 6th. My teammate didn't get the drive, so I thought all hope was lost in beating Williams here, but because of the win, it's going to put us within range. So our next and last race at Brazil, and we have a shot at least taking the Williams out here in the Constructors. See you next week.